What's up, guys? Tawok here, bringing you episode 2 of the Spicy Sausage Podcast. I'm joined once again by Skimask and Mr.Blonde. How's it going, boyos?
It's going great.
Pretty good fella.
So how we feeling about playing SOCOM on X-Link lately?
I've been feeling real good about it. How about you, Blonde?
Yeah, I'm getting better. Like I was saying before, when I first came back to playing SOCOM 2 again regularly, I was still getting used to how the game played and how it plays now, and the whole patch situation. But now that there's a lot more people to play with, varying skill, including as terrible as me, I'm finding it a lot more enjoyable. It's a lot more exciting. We're seeing some maps that we haven't seen in a long while, so it's fresh. It's getting fresh again.
Including Devil's Road Convoy.
Devil's Road Convoy was unironically awesome. It was the pinnacle of SOCOM gameplay. Sitting on sticking on cliff edges with Mark 48s, shooting at trucks that can shrug off like 300 machine gun rounds and an AT-4 or two. Jokes aside, it was fun.
It was real love-hate for me.
It was love-hate. I can agree with that. It was very slow. Took 42 minutes. 42 minutes and 54 seconds. So basically 43 minutes to complete. But it was worth every one of those 43 minutes to me.
Well, and then the highlight of the map, of course, being me making that 180-meter sniper shot to shoot that driver and still lose the round.
Oh, that was fucking spicy.
See, there's heart wrench when it comes to these games. There's moments of glory, and then there's moments of sadness, and you just gotta take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have.
Speaking of X-Link, what's the latest report on the numbers?
Last Friday when we were out, I started to stream a little early, and we had some good turnout right away. I think around like 8 o'clock. But when we actually started our community event, which is normally around 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, we actually had 66 players between the two games, which was not bad. I was very impressed. We had 43 on SOCOM 2, and we had 23 on Combined Assault. So more than plenty to go around, and love to see new faces out there, new people getting excited about it. It's been a blast. I've been playing in full rooms lately, and I can't tell you how excited it's been just to get home, unwind, and
get bit by the SOCOM bug again.
Man, you know it. It's like almost like first love again. I mean, I think about it all the time. I'm thinking strat. I was thinking combo. You guys are looking back all sour on it and shit. You fucking Debbie Downers. I was
like half of that game was shitty.
I was playing advocate.
Yeah, great. I mean, I fucking got ran over at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you were getting run over left and right.
It was great. It was all good shit. Playing Killing Fields, playing Blood Lake Night, checking out that spicy draw distance on the night vision. With that
was
demo.
Honestly a good map that I didn't get to play much of in SOCOM 1 or 2, and I like it in Combined Assault. It's a good fit. It's nice open spaces. I feel like a lot of Combined Assault maps are kind of claustrophobic and very, very tight. Like a lot
I agree.
of the parts in Anchorage, we were playing the same night. We were playing Anchorage, and I don't know. I wasn't doing good, so I wasn't enjoying it. That's how my fucking brain works.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I understand those types that if they're not doing well, they're not having fun. And I don't necessarily take you for one of those types, but with Combined Assault and just playing some of those old maps, it brings back those fond memories of just. Do you guys remember some of the game times? I mean, it was like you said, 43 minutes, but didn't we have one that almost went like an hour and a half?
When was that?
Not that I know.
Well, maybe that's me thinking back to the old days, but I remember some of those 12-round fucking games because wasn't the standard default 6 minutes for rounds?
Oh,
didn't we do 4-minute rounds?
I cut it down to 5. I should have cut it down to like 6 rounds for Convoy. Lesson learned. But
yeah, well, you could switch it on that with Combined Assault. I did like how you could switch some of the game modes. I know some of you purists hate that shit. But playing Siphon Control Points or Blood Lake Demo, like you said, it was what
The
I
thing
liked
is,
specifically. Go
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt, but I think a lot of people echo this statement, but it's fine to have the option to play multiple modes on a map. It just kind of sucks sometimes when the map's designed to have multiple modes played.
Whenever I give
Like,
the map shit for that, it's just me being tongue-in-cheek elitist. I don't actually care. I think
yeah,
multiple modes can work out for some maps, but it's always that elitist shit you hear from S2 diehards that are like, one map, one mode.
Yeah, and I understand their point of view.
And actually,
I
Blood Lake
think
Demolition's not too bad.
well,
And I'm going to make a video of that because I think I did rather well.
well, of course, and you like to highlight it, but
Exactly.
one of the things I liked about it was the different different levels to it, specifically down in the swamps and stuff. How they had the different impressions, which can still affect the gunfire. It was especially when you're doing the night vision and stuff, and you're in that first person perspective, you could totally hit some of the different banks and stuff in front of you, and not actually be able to hit some of the characters if they were ducking behind rocks and stuff. Yeah, it's a blast. I had a great time.
It's great to be playing SOCOM again, and regularly.
very regularly.
With friends.
And
I think having the clan and the brothers to play it with, I think that's what really makes it.
Absolutely.
And
Solo
seeing other
is
clans
not
out
nearly as
there,
fun.
other people are banding up and stuff. People are getting hyped. I definitely see there's the regulars that play at certain times of the day, certain times of the week. I've just been hopping on sporadically whenever I get a chance, and sometimes I play with the same set of guys in there and gals, and other times it's just randoms. But one thing is a constant, and everybody just is usually pretty crazy about SOCOM. They all love it, and everybody's been pretty chill and pretty positive for the most part.
All right, I think
X-Link's been stable. I mean, you guys know that, right? Have you guys even gotten disconnected really, except for a couple of times?
It's been doing really
you're
well
actually playing?
recently, I thought.
Connecting has been kind of a hassle, but once you're on, I feel like especially with our co-ops and stuff, we'd never really have ever fallen out.
Yeah, I've never really had too many disconnection problems as far as on the fault of X-Link. It's usually been, oops, I accidentally finagled the LAN cable out of my computer because it's a very loose port for many years of usage.
Same with my PlayStation. Kind of sometimes you get that sound, it'll just like stick on some of the symphony, and then your PlayStation 2 is all blocked up and stuff.
Yep.
And mine's been doing that every now and then too.
I actually have a complex. Now, I'm going to, or not a complex, I don't know what to call it, but I have an irrational fear of music skipping based on my childhood of hearing that shit constantly. I remember I used to be deathly afraid of playing like custom maps on Tony Hawk American Wasteland or whatever, because people would do this shit where they would plant all of the like flags for whenever you would play CTF. Play skateboard CTF. They put all the flags right next to each other over a pit, and if you fell in there, you would grab like 3 of the flags at once, and the game would freak out and freeze, and then you'd hear like the same fucking, you'd hear Jello Biafra like California, California, California for like at max volume.
When you're doing a grand,
That was your nightmare.
Yeah. It seriously, I hate it. I absolutely cannot stand music that skips. So,
what you guys know about
information?
What you guys know about 2 generation consoles ago? You could still pipe in your own fucking CDs and shit, and now even on the PlayStation 4, I can't even make a fucking screensaver.
That's
ridiculous, right?
Hashtag quality. That's Sony having very good priorities.
I mean, even with Gran Turismo and stuff on the PlayStation 2, they had soundtracks that you could customize and stuff. And I noticed even a lot of stuff here. It's like the baseball, especially the sports games. It would tap into your own. Whatever you could have drives and stuff hooked to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my feeling is that they've got sponsorships with like Spotify, and Xbox One has Groove Music. It used to have some other stuff, Google Music or something like that. And
do they have Spotify as well, or is that an exclusive? Do you know?
The PS4 has Spotify. I don't believe Xbox One does.
Can you listen to Spotify while you're playing a game?
Yeah, you can listen to Spotify while you're playing a game. You can switch the songs.
It's immersive and seamless.
You can also connect it to your phone if you want to or if you want to use your phone to control the music, so you don't have to like pause the game or anything like that. It is very intuitive in that regard, although sometimes I have trouble getting my phone to actually connect to the PS4 without opening the app and suspending GTA 5 or whatever, which can be a pain in the ass. Also, sometimes one of my pet peeves is that Spotify likes to update while I'm using it and turn itself off. That, I believe, is why, partially at least, why there's less of that like custom music stuff than there was on PS3, especially PS2 or Xbox.
So yeah, do you guys want to talk about freaking For Honor? Did you guys get a chance to play that?
I played hour and a half, 2 hours. I loaded it up once or twice. Not enough, I feel. What I played I enjoyed, but it was 95% of it was against bots. The bots don't piss around.
No, the bots do not fuck around.
I heard it was brutal.
I don't like the 4v4 mode, or at least the matches that I played of it. I feel like it's kind of a cluster. What will you call it?
Did you have randoms with you though?
I think once. Yeah, I didn't play with anybody that I knew, so that's part of the problem. But I just feel like I'm not gonna like it either with the control points and the gear system. I like the visual cosmetic upgrades and stuff like that, but I don't like the stat trade-offs and stuff like that, which don't apply.
What about the robustness to the combat system? What do you think about the block, parry? The defense.
It felt like rock, paper, scissors.
I liked what I saw. I don't feel like it was rock, paper, scissors. I feel like there was a little more to it than I was expecting.
Skill-based, wasn't it? Kind of like
I feel like
bringing things together.
I feel like the guard breaks and the move sets for each character and their little quirks, like the one that I was playing, the Warden. If somebody attacks you from the top and you do a top light attack, you basically automatically parry them and get a hit in and stuff like that. I do like that. I honestly thought it was not going to be that deep, and I was gladly mistaken. But I think, while it is interesting, I think once I get a handle on it, what I've seen in the For Honor subreddit has been Salt, which I guess is going to be the same for every game. But
really,
it's been like, this character's overpowered and the guard breaks don't work, and they could be right for all I know. But
of course,
it's going to take.
They just want to get that stuff fixed.
Yeah, but I'll wrap it up. I enjoyed what I played, and when it goes on sale, I think I might pick it up for $30-$40.
For the beta, for what you played, did you feel like you played a complete game though? I mean, did you feel like it offered? I mean, because I can't remember if the single player was added to that, or if that was just.
It was not. The single player was not in the beta. I feel like the game does afford a lot of amenities. I feel like the UI is pretty good. The presentation is great. The opening cinematic was very impressive. I very much liked it. Like I said, all the UI stuff, the pre-game loading screens, the music, it's all really good in my opinion. And presentation is definitely good. I am a little bit concerned about, I guess, content. If they keep releasing new characters to play as, I'm sure people will like that, but I don't know. Like I said, I didn't play enough of it to give a full verdict on how the game's going to turn out, but I'm hopeful, and if I keep hearing good things, then I'm going to definitely pick it up when I can.
Well, and I played enough of it to know that I wouldn't enjoy it at the end of the day, just because, like I said, I felt like it was rock, paper, scissors when I played the damn combat, and then it was like a MOBA-based game mode that I played, and it seemed like Dominion or whatever was like a MOBA, where there was a lane of bots that you just like fucking mindlessly killed, and then you'd get in a fight with somebody, and then they'd just run away at 10% and wait for their friend to come reinforce them, and then you'd run away from them, and yeah, I just wasn't super impressed by it.
Yeah, I didn't really like the idea of that mode. I did like the duel mode, and I think I would enjoy the brawl mode if I had gotten to play much of that. But there also is a 4v4 just straight up deathmatch mode, I believe, with respawns and but no bots and no gear, which I think would be a happy medium for me.
And I guess what you should really mention is that it's $60 plus $40 season pass plus microtransactions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the scummiest of scum.
That's
Fucking, why
Ubisoft,
there gotta be
man.
scumbags out there?
I play Siege, and that's what it's like. Siege now has 2 season passes.
Who plays Siege anymore? To be honest with you, who gives
Blonde
a
plays
fuck about
Siege.
Siege?
I played
Whatever.
a little bit yesterday, actually.
Everybody, okay. He popped it in just to see that little, what was it, the Violet pack or whatever it was?
Yeah, Velvet Shell.
Violet, Velvet. I feel like it was
Thunder.
Velvet Shell.
Their
one.
DLC names are not very good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
that.
thought the
Kinda
two-way
weird.
mirror was
Like,
pretty. It sounds awesome. Does it not
no, that's
work really
cool.
well? Or?
I'm not talking shit about the 2-way mirror, but
Okay.
I don't like the DLC names for Siege. They've got fucking. The first one was like Black Ice, and I was like, all right, that's kind of but at least it's a phrase that exists. And then the next one's Dust Line. Like, yeah, that's a sweet image. I just want, like, all I see is some dude like raking a fucking bunker on a golf course. That's what I'm seeing when I hear the word Dust Line. And then they had Skull Rain. Oh, Skull Rain made me laugh. If that was the intention, mission accomplished. But I don't think it was. And then now they've got Velvet Shell and
Sure.
or Red Crow. Excuse me, I forgot Red Crow. That one was kind of all right. It's neither here nor there. None of them have been good. Although there are very few games that have good DLC names or like outstanding DLC names to me.
I got bored of that first season. But to be honest, I'm casual, so people probably expect that of me anyway.
I wish I could say I played more Rainbow Six, but I put like 30 hours on it total over the up from Black Ice through Dust Line, and then I haven't played it since I want to say September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely tapered off in terms of my play time. I used to play a lot more when my team, the people that I played with regularly played, but they all moved to Paragon. So,
Ooh,
Sure.
Paragon.
Another sick MOBA for sick guys that play MOBAs.
MOBAs, though.
Yeah, and to be fair, again, I never had enough organization with people I play with. It seems like we always had more than 5, but less than 10, and nobody was ever organized enough to do battles with each other. So it was either like you got in when everybody first kind of assembled, and then you sat on the sidelines waiting for people to go out. But I mean, a lot of my freaking gamer friends are like, we joke about the fact that we can all like hold our piss and shit for 8 days and stuff. We just hook up to a tube and lock in and whatever. But I don't know. That's not very fun when you're playing a fucking. I just miss SOCOM, and I'm always gonna rack on the fact that these smaller squads just kind of suck.
I kind of like
That's not
I
long.
like Siege with 5v5. I kind of wish that at least in custom games that you had the option for a 6 or 7 or 8 player team. Just
that would be really cool.
I'd like to see the dynamic of
Putting more players on the
like
map.
larger maps with more
Sure.
operators going on, because then you'd have to. There's a little more to worry about. It's not just like, oh, okay, they don't have bandit and they don't have mute, so we don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, and with all that stuff aside, I wasn't even really getting that specifics, but I just got kind of tired of breaking in through windows and kicking down doors. Just got old. I put a lot of time into it.
I was a big fan of, like, I liked all the sightline stuff and the destructible environments. I just wish I don't know. I just wish
I love the low and slow gameplay, one life, fucking tactical, man.
I do too, and the Twitch shooters are just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of done with them.
I think my big gripe with the game, and that's another part of what made me taper off playing it, besides not having anybody to play it with for a while, was I was always kind of frustrated with the DLC operators, like Buck. Like, I'm from Canada, so the JTF2 thing was like, oh, okay, what are they going to do with this? And they're like, oh, this guy's got a shotgun. Like, he's got a master key. Wow.
He's the key master.
He's the key master. And then the other person's got bear traps. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I didn't like the armaments that they have. Like, I don't even know what a Cameras is, the DMR that they gave Buck, or why that would have a master key on it, but whatever. And I didn't like how Frost had this weird SMG that I'd never heard of that kind of looks like a shitty version of the Sten, and also a Spas 12 or Super 90, excuse me. Spas 12 came later. Another thing that really pissed me off about the game for a while is how every fucking defensive operator they introduced was like, oh, this is a lady, she's got an automatic shotgun, and C4. And that was like the defensive operator for 3 DLCs in a row. And I was like, okay, really? I've had enough.
Sure. Well, and another thing it's kind of what I noticed the trend in kind of gaming overall, and this was just another thing that I'm always into the quirky shit, I won't be shy about saying I was kind of a guy who wished PS Home would have taken off and done something cool with it, but everybody always thinks I'm a fucking retard for saying
You're a
that kind of
loony.
stuff, but whatever. But I also,
Sorry.
Hold on. What Blonde? Are you gonna echo that?
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna order you a plate of Looney Chips, bud, because that's the craziest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, I get it. And for whatever reason, like I said, the golden gun aspect to it, I had fun with. It was.
See, I only played Home in long enough to like walk around in like a square where people are like dancing and shit, and then like I'd go in and there'd be a bunch of people bowling and I could never get in on a bowling alley, and then there'd be people playing like other stupid ass games, and I'd be all by myself and none of my friends wanted to play it because they said it was gay.
Yeah, because you didn't have any friends. No, but yeah, whatever. No, I get it.
I always felt like PlayStation Home. I bought some of the clothes that you got in the SOCOM section, but I always felt like it was kind of like a shitty Habbo
We have a
hotel.
consumer, folks. He uses Canadian dollars. His loonies. Who's the
just
loony
wanted,
now?
His
yeah, one of the
loonies.
cool. You could get the cool assault rifles and stuff on your back. I wish you
Loonies
could
and
buy it.
Well, they
toonies,
gave it
man.
to you for winning the game.
I was kind of not the golden AK-47. I'm like, you could get other stuff as well. You had to look in the right spot, but I don't know. I just wish you could get more poses and emotes and stuff like that because I was tired of doing the fucking ska dance. It's enough of that.
Just to bring it home, what I was kind of getting at though is there's a trend with these microtransactions and shit. And if any of you guys ever heard or played the game, Army of Two, you should be able to craft some of this shit on your own and fucking import it to the game for Christ's sake. Why do they fucking want to stifle people from like making their own cool shit and bringing it into their own fucking, game worlds? And instead they just want to like slowly like chug out this bullshit. Like you were talking about earlier, you didn't like the way their fucking gear looked. Why couldn't you just design your own fucking, character skin or overlay for, it baffles me. I still feel like there's a lot of stuff that has been held back creatively when it comes to video game. Sometimes it's disappointing. I've always felt like I've been around for a lot of the iterations, and sometimes I feel like some of these console generations, and I'm using fucking finger quotes, but this PlayStation 4 generation was the goddamn 32X of my fucking, my 30s. And if anybody wants to argue that, they can pretty much go fuck themselves. But that's seriously, that's what it feels like, especially when they drop a fucking, ooh, here's an upgrade. Look at it, runs faster, and don't get me wrong, all the bits, it's got good bits.
Play Night
bits
Trap
per second, but I don't know, I can't help but feel grifted a little bit. That's all.
Feel grifted, man.
Well, fuck, I dropped $760 on my fucking PlayStation and all my accessories just to get, set up to get going with maybe 2 games.
Shit,
what happened. You gotta stop shopping at the thrift store, man.
Well, yeah, fuck, I could have gone to the pawn shop and get the shit used too, but
that's what happens. That's what happens when you go to the lit match fucking company.
Well, I could have also just stated that as being just a retail statistic of what it costs to just play the fucking thing. But, harp on me what you want. But like I said, that's no chump change. That's a lot to just shell out for, that little black number to sit on your shelf that Tawok was just saying, like, fuck a console. There's nothing on it that I'd even want to play. And
I'm still waiting for it, man.
There's hard to argue him because me and Blonde are on there, and the games that they're churning out are fun for what they are, but a lot of us are putting them down after a month or two, and it's just like,
no
and
staying
maybe it's just because
power.
we're getting bored, or like I said, there's a lot of things I feel like games are just kind of lame. A lot of them.
Well, we've done that. What are we playing right now? What are you guys up to right now? Playing besides obviously X-Link.
Oh man, I wish I actually had something exciting to report to you guys as far as that goes. But the thing that I've been really jonesing on the past week or so, first and foremost, real easy answer: Tomb Raider 2 and 3, like the old PS1 classics.
Huh?
It's just I'm like a nostalgia fueled gamer, so like that's almost always what I'm playing is something nostalgic. And then my wife and we bought this game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Where you have
Sounds
to
interesting.
one player has to print off a manual and they can't see the computer screen, and another player plays at the computer, and the person playing at the computer has to tell the person with the manual what they see, and the person with the manual has to tell them how to defuse it. And it's retardedly fun. Like, I would recommend it to anybody that wants a unique
It's
challenge.
almost like a party game.
It is. It would totally
Yeah.
be a party game. You could have several people on the manual.
Sure.
Everybody's shouting, "It's a jackal! Jackal!"
And the funny thing is my
operator
wife thought
style.
it was called Bomb Defusal for the longest time, even though it has a real name. She's just like, "Let's play Bomb Defusal." And then I called it by its real name the other day, and she's like, "What? What's that?"
Wasn't Bomb Defusal was that a mode in SOCOM 4?
That was Bomb
That one
Squad.
called- Oh, yeah. Well. Anywho, ugh.
So,
what have I been playing? Or
yeah, what have you been
You
playing?
been playing more? I've been playing SOCOM, guys.
I told you, other than SOCOM.
Oh,
That's
I'm
it.
harding right now on SOCOM.
That's fair enough.
Let me
Fair
just
enough.
get the smile out. You guys all feel it.
All right.
No,
well,
it's been taking up a lot of my time. I think, what has it been now? At least 3 or 4 days a week. Here and there, like I said, and then some of the nights. Hell, we just did the community night a couple nights. What was it? Wednesday night. I stayed
Yeah.
up with you till what, 2 almost? Shit, I had to be to work. I had to leave the house by 5. Now, let's just say sleep wasn't very, forgiving going to down and coming up like that. And besides all that kind of shit, I've been playing a little bit of Steep. That's one of the
yeah, I've been
outdoor
seeing you
snowboarding
uploading vids
kind of
of
games.
Steep game.
Yeah, I've been kind of having fun with their community. They've been doing some kind of extracurricular activities with their forums and stuff. So there's some creative folks over there with the Ubisoft forums that stage these different events and stuff that I was interested in. It was fun for what it was, but like I said, SOCOM's been taking up a lot of my time.
Steep definitely piques my interest. I've always had a thing for like snowboarding games and shit. It's just like For Honor, I can't justify dropping $60 for it. Like it
It's not
feels
even
more like a
$60
$30
anymore.
title.
Yeah, it already is 30.
Really? It's already $30?
drastically They've already slashed it in half.
Holy shit! No
It
way.
didn't sell for nothing.
That's got to
Yeah,
be
'cause
the
everybody managed to
fastest
get 'em.
Ubisoft has ever slashed a title that hard.
Yeah, I was getting coupons. I said, ouch, because it was like,
It's unfortunate. It's not doing very well as far as I know, obviously, based
No.
on that information, but it does look interesting. I don't know.
It's $60 on Steam still.
It might just
well,
be
I was going to say, I
PSN
just got a
sale.
coupon for one of their, from Ubisoft themselves. Or they were
They send
advertising in their
coupons to
Reddit.
people that
and
already
stuff.
own the game. They're like, you can buy it
No.
again.
I'm talking about from them. That was actually their promotional stuff within their own fucking communities, their own Reddits, their own people pushing the damn game for $39.99, I think. That was with
yeah.
the bundles and everything, which was already an add-on to begin with.
It is interesting. I was watching a review, please excuse me, of Victor Lucas. He reviewed it, and he gave it like a 6 or something like that. He's like, it is interesting, and it does sort of scratch the itch, but I feel like it's just, if I do get it, it's just going to make me want to play SSX Tricky again. Because that's what I'm looking for, basically. And I think
Sure.
my understanding is that it's not that arcadey.
It's not at all. And I think SS Tricky is kind of gutterball fucking trash.
See, when I'm looking for a snowboarding game, I'm looking for basically Cool Boarders from like 1996.
I would say
I'm looking for Ricky Winterboard.
There you go. That was a good one, Blonde. That's a good callback from fucking way back when. No, with this particular game, I would liken it to 1080. I gush about it just because I had nothing else to play at the time, and like I said, I was getting sick of some of the shooters and the other trash that was out there. And don't get me wrong, I still play Uncharted and stuff when I can, but this particular game, I needed something to fill the void, and Gran Turismo got pushed back, and I'm still looking forward to it, but that shit's still on the horizon. Sport? Yeah, I mean, even Tawok was talking about it. I mean, I was stoked. It was like supposed to come out in October, I think.
You're talking about Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on with that? That's like one series that could still get me to buy a PlayStation, and they just won't come out with it.
Well, there's that, and they're making a lot of the stuff to be VR supported, which is.
Ugh.
I just want to ask you guys, how do you feel real quick about VR in general? Like.
Kind of cool, kind of no.
Gross or grosser than gross?
I'm not so much interested in it as far as me consuming it, because I don't really want to get like the $400 rig or whatever it would be.
Still too expensive, yeah.
If I got,
so you guys are just saying just price is your only barrier?
It's not. Well, no.
I don't know if I have the room for it.
Yeah. Fuck me.
I was just telling my buddy, we were fucking around at a GameStop, just killing time. Like I said, we were kind of just bumming around the city. We had breakfast and stuff, just chilling. Went to GameStop and just kind of fucking around, looking at all the stuff in there. And VR, same with 3D and shit. I ain't fucking buying it, man. Whatever it is they're selling, I ain't fucking buying. I ain't walking around with a fucking cell phone up to my face going, ooh, I'm so immersed. I'm drawn in. You guys just look at it, and there's just fucking mirrors and shit in there, and it's my fucking cell phone up to my face. I'm not an asshole.
If I'm going to do it, well, that's debatable.
That's true, though. I'm really trying to soften my image. I need to drop that.
If I'm gonna get a VR rig, it's gonna be after I get like a PC, so I can run like some pimp 4K stuff, and not like I don't want some compliments fucking store brand VR. That's not what I'm looking for. I want the big guns, and I need a game like one game that did interest me a bit was Onward, which is a VR FPS like online, which is interesting, but the animations right now are pretty goddamn bad, and
you like that squiggle scope?
I want VR Time Crisis.
Like
VR Time Crisis would be good.
Oh, that'd bring me right back to the '90s arcades, man.
It's such trash. I would rather do that. I would love to see those come back and become like the new like.
Would you really go to a physical arcade? Because I don't think I could get off my fat ass to do it, man.
I absolutely would.
I'd be down for that.
Especially with
I used to. In Halifax, I used to walk like down 5 blocks just to play Counter-Strike for 2 hours. It's because I didn't have a rig of my own that was gonna work, and I actually got to meet some nice people there. And I think the same would be true of arcades.
You see in bars though more often. People are playing like tabletop games and stuff, and that's kind of its own fun thing. And you'll see them even some other places will throw out like the handhelds and stuff for people to kind of screw around with too. So whatever, anything's possible to see some of that stuff come back and return and be gimmicky all over again. Especially with these hipsters nowadays.
Good old hipsters.
Consoles, and that you need that killer app to justify getting it. And I'm not going to get a VR thing just to be the first guy to have one so that I can play fucking Spellbook VR experience. You can look at you. You can cast a Wingardium Leviosa. How cool was that?
Ooh.
Thanks for the $40.
Yay, Harry Potter!
I also played last week the Ghost Recon, the closed beta. Did you guys get a chance to dabble in that?
Now that's something I didn't get to dabble in at all, and I need to lean on you guys for, since the open beta is coming up.
Yep, Blonde. Did you get a chance to dabble in the closed?
I did. I played 2 or 3 sessions of probably an hour or 2 each, and I played a little bit. Well, actually, most of it I played solo, which, in hindsight, if I in the open beta, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I played that, and I played a little bit of co-op. My first impressions are the Unlike For Honor, the presentation is not good. The presentation doesn't work for me. I don't know. The storyline didn't seem interesting in the least. If there was one, it was kind of like. I mean, it reminds me, if anything, of Mercenaries for the PS2, which worked for me when I was like 12. But that had 3 main characters you could pick from, and they were all significantly more charismatic than fucking.
Wasn't that the PlayStation 3 though?
No, well, that was
Yeah.
Mercenaries 2.
Which is clearly
which wasn't
the better
as
title.
good. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, those characters actually had some character, whereas the best thing I can say about the main character of Ghost Recon Wildlands is, first of all, I don't know his name because he doesn't have one. But the best thing is obviously the design is up to you, like my Tyrannosaurus, and but he sounded like he sounded like the announcer for Rainbow Six Siege. He sounded real fucking. Give me the nerdy voice, Tawok. Give me a nerdy voice saying like, "We gotta go take out the cartel."
We gotta go take out the cartel!
That's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, you didn't like that glitchy helicopter scene, you mean?
No, I didn't like the glitchy helicopter scene. That was a shame too. That the frame rate was dipping hard during the helicopter intro. The voice acting was awful. The cadence was awful. It sounded like we were listening to the actors reading the script for the first time just to get their bearings. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, that was a good take, boys. We're done." And they're like, "Wait,
Jesus.
what? We were rolling?" The best thing about the voice acting is the random shit that they say every once in a while during combat. Like, they'll be silent for 5 minutes, and then a grenade will go off 50 meters away from you, and your character will just suddenly like whisper, cock holster." Like, why?
I appreciate it.
Like, you would shoot and you'd miss, and you just hear, shit balls. Like, they just threw out random portmanteau swears. Which, that's kind of funny, but I don't think that's going to carry the bad voice acting.
Oh, you're saying the camp wasn't enough?
No, it wasn't. I don't want it to be full camp. I want it to be subtle, but I want the voice acting to be good. If the voice acting isn't going to be good, I guess go full camp if that's all you can pull off, but I don't know. I've focused too much on the voice acting. I'm going to move on and say that the squad AI is awful. Very bad. Okay. I made note of one notable instance where I was doing
you didn't like a squad full of boomers?
Squad full of boomer. I never found Boomer to be that bad. You know?
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
what?
Sometimes he was a little disobedient, but that was quickly remedied.
These guys were straight out like AWOL sometimes. They weren't even in like mission critical.
Like, one situation, I had to steal a helicopter full of medical supplies, and there were 2 main issues with this that I found after retrying said side mission multiple times. Was A, I would get around the back, I would neutralize all the perimeter guys that I could without them getting spotted, and all the dudes that were like stacked up near each other, I wanted to do a sync shot with my teammates. Now, to start the game off, you can only do you killing one guy and one of your squad mates killing another guy. You can't like line up and tag 2 or 3 people. You need to upgrade a skill for that. And that seems kind of stupid to me, but I guess if it's for balance purposes, whatever. Anyways, I called them to regroup. I told them to get back to me, and I waved my finger up in the air while they were 300 meters away from me as if they could see it. So they did regroup with me. Route that they chose to regroup with me was they just barreled through the middle of the camp and alerted the enemies, and they took off in the helicopter. So that was very nice of them. I thought that maybe I was a little presumptuous. Maybe I shouldn't have thought that my teammates would exercise.
They didn't leave you behind like the platoon style, did they?
No. When I say that the helicopter took off, it wasn't my teammates were in it. It
was the colonel.
Yeah. Colonel, what's his fuck? He took off, and my second concern with this specific side mission, where you have to steal the helicopter full of whatever type of supplies it is that as soon as the camp goes on alert, one of the characters, generally the lieutenant, will beeline for the helicopter, and I guess that makes sense. But you'll hear, they're escaping. They'll get in the helicopter, and as soon as they shut the door, they are skyrocketing into the air before the fucking rotor even starts turning, basically. And unless you have a helicopter of your own, there's no way you're following them, obviously. And even if you do, I don't know how you're going to get them down. That might be. I might find that out later.
Down fast enough.
I found, there was that problem, and I started planning for that. I was like, okay, if they're going to do that, then I'm just going to shoot them as they're taking off. Turns out, it's kind of hard to do. I feel like there's a little bit of bullet resistance on the glass, which would be fine if the helicopter didn't take off like immediately, but it does. So, my little tangent done there. I found the side missions kind of are already a bit too samey for me. I did like the exploration bit. I do like the fact that there's 2 factions to fight. It is kind of interesting, at least right now.
Like, do you think like you could stir up trouble kind of like you could with the gang war style with the old Grand Theft Autos? Like I didn't get a chance to dig too far into it.
The 2 factions, I believe, are allied with each other. So essentially, it's just you're killing the purple guys or you're killing the orange guys.
Okay. And then you're doing it with the yellow guys or what?
Yeah, the yellow guys are the cartel or orange or whatever, and the purple gentlemen are the Unidad, like government people. And they dress basically like the PMCs in Metal Gear Solid 4, which is a game that I believe handled the faction thing pretty well, in that you could get them to fight each other, you could befriend one of them. You know what I mean? But this
I remember that.
Totally.
This game doesn't seem to do that.
I mean, that was a Mercenaries thing all the way too.
Yeah, like Mercenaries was definitely much more in depth with that. I like
getting them to follow you and escort you.
Like 3 of your key buildings in your base, and I killed probably like 45 Chinese people. But here's $1 million, and we're all gravy, right?
Well, no, I didn't mean like the arcadey point of that, but I mean the fact that you could actually get the computer AI to like follow you in a convoy and back you up, take out some stuff, blow things up, depending upon who you armed and what kind of vehicles you put them with and what you brought with you. I thought that part was intuitive with that particular game. Now with Ghost Recon, it wasn't like that at all. Ugh.
We've got the SWAT command menu that looks kind of like the tactical command menu from the SOCOM games, but it's not.
Don't you say it. Don't you say
nearly
it.
as in depth.
I was going to say, don't you even fucking put it in the same category as one of those better SOCOM games, because that menu is
that's what I'm saying is the menu doesn't give you like any options at all. It gives you stop there, it gives you regroup, and it gives you go to. You can't order specific members to go to specific places away from each other.
Isn't that crazy for how old SOCOM is? How many more voice commands it had?
Like SOCOM, you would tell people to go places, but you could tell them how to get there. You could tell them to rush there. You could tell them to sneak there. You could tell them to kill anybody going there. You could tell them to lead you there. But in this game, it's just go there, and then they all go to the same line.
I mean, let's be honest. I could do that in Jungle Strike back on the Sega Genesis with my fucking helicopter. I could do rally points properly in fucking, Command and Conquer fucking Generals 0 hour.
That's an RTS.
I remember Generals.
You know what I mean? But the thing is this game, and even a couple of generations ago with Mercenaries and stuff, it's just that part, all of that stuff being aside, AI. Do you have anything good to say about it, though? Did you find any pearls amongst the sack of shit that you were digging in?
Not really. I feel like the AI basically reminded me of a shitty version of the Phantom Pain most of the time. Once I got like the hang of basically picking people off from the outside of an outpost, it was easy pickings basically every time. And the only challenge.
What do you think of the viewpoint, the point of view, and the aim? The clicks and stuff.
I found the over-the-shoulder view to be kind of I've never really been a fan of it. It was
pretty gross.
It's not my cup of joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate to just echo what Big Fry was saying in his video about the game, but the game just every aspect of it basically screams mediocrity. Sad to say that I feel like that's where it's going to end up. And now the open beta might change my mind. I guess my positive would be that the graphics are good. The regions are big and expansive, and if they had, excuse me, I'm a bit tired. If they had shit to run into besides other like enemies, maybe it'd be a bit more interesting. But time will tell. we'll see how the full game pans out. Obviously, I've only played the beta, so.
Do you mind if I step in real quick, Tawok?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Ski. How about your thoughts on Wildlands?
Well, after listening to Blonde, you bring up excellent points. I agree with almost every single one. Actually, I do agree with every single one. Maybe not to the same degree, but I do agree. But I would just counter on a lot of things, and mediocrity aside, because don't get me wrong, everybody made fucking references to, and including myself, to Just Cause and the villagers of Far Cry kind of rumbling around the place with the the AI of a PlayStation 1 game, and the vehicle controls of Vice City with with the mods turned off. But still, I think at the end of the day, it's February. I ain't got shit to play besides SOCOM. I got a couple other games maybe that I can definitely go deep in, but those are going to be single player, because that's just kind of, like I said, I'm more of a casual gamer when it comes to a lot of those titles. I think with Ghost Recon, what it is going to shine on, which everybody is, I've yet to hear anybody really say anything negative about, was it seemed to launch properly though with 4 players, did it not? And it did pull you through properly, allowed you to exit out, or was that For Honor? Maybe I'm getting the two games mixed up, but
It's
either
sad
way,
that
I think,
like that's a
yeah,
thing you can say for the game's benefit. It's like, oh, it works, but I see what you mean.
no, I hear you. Well, we were just talking about games fucking under delivering, so I was just trying to still say, with it not, being a bundle of trash aside, I did find some things that it was fun. I did, even though I could only mark one character, I also did that fucking helicopter mission. I felt like we talked about this before on the previous podcast or something, but maybe did we talk right before the beta somehow? But it was like, or maybe it was during one of the live streams, but I tried to assassinate that same colonel who also just fucking flew away from me every goddamn time. And I did that thing like at least 7 or 8 times. I took the the little seal boat over there. We cruised fast. And by the time I exited the boat, 2 of my characters were already swimming to the other like opposite island, while I was like mounting assault on this like fucking base, or jungle camp or whatever the hell it was. And
Yeah, your teammates are liable to just fuck off and go do whatever sometimes.
yeah,
Oh,
see you
jeez.
later. And like you said, and then they're doing these little bastardly fucking quips while they're marching away from you, like a couple of dinks. I hated that too. And by the way, I personally picked a female character, so
Oh yeah.
you're being kind of pro male before earlier, but I found that my character was Asian that spoke very country hillbilly. So.
Yeah. See, if you're gonna offer nationalities for like your creative character and voices, you gotta adjust for that. Like Saints Row did all right with that. Like,
but yeah,
I just
it
don't know.
it was kind of a miss with that, and the gear and everything too. But still, like I said, it doesn't take much to please me, and so I did have fun. So at the end of the day, I can't say that it was total trash, because what I tried to do when I play video games is have fun, and it did do
There's
that.
small details I liked about it, like the character customization is good.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, and I hate it when games don't let you do this, even though it's a very small thing and it doesn't actually affect gameplay at all. But I like how you can hold triangle and just get rid of your gun and walk around like that.
Yep. Put it away, essentially.
I just, I'm not.
No, it was missing so much, but I think it was because the world size maybe limited the game to what it could put maybe character-wise. Because didn't you feel like it was also kind of desolate and empty?
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that doesn't reflect the actual game, because if it does, then it's going to be another Ubisoft open world.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be.
See, I felt like it looked like an open world warm Division with squad mates.
Yep. But I'm still looking forward to it. Fuck it. I got a couple guys that are excited too, so.
One positive is I didn't see any fucking towers that I had to climb up to, and you can see the map now. Like, there was none of that.
Oh man, the Assassin's Creed towers.
The Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, what have you towers. Watchdog
Just
probably has
Cause
something
did
like
it
that.
too
Just Cause
with
did
its
it.
radio towers.
I've had enough. I don't know. Everybody played
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie, and they were like, "Oh, we got to put like 9 zillion fucking collectibles in our game," but that they don't understand what they're doing wrong. They don't
Still,
understand why
I
that
still
can't
think
do it.
$60 for it, or I wouldn't buy the season pass. I would just buy I actually it'd probably be the deluxe edition. Which one was that? That was like $70 or something. I might still do that day one, to be honest, because I'm fucking bored.
I'm waiting until the $40 edition.
Yeah, so that'd probably be what, 3 month mark maybe. I know some people are willing to wait like a couple of weeks, and
The
usually
day
you get
90
$10
edition.
off. Yeah, get the scratchy.
I was gonna say I'm not bored because I don't think I said what I was playing recently. Did I? Did we?
I
Cover
don't
that?
think you did, Blonde.
No, I think we moved past. But anyways, recently I've been playing GTA 5 a little bit more. Getting back into that just to do some of the more managerial stuff like the CEO work and the biker businesses. One thing that's very interesting is biker business sales are 25% bonus this until like the 27th. So those max. So get that cocaine out there, flood the market, hook some kids, look at wholesome fun from GTA 5. But anyways, I've been playing that. I'm getting back into Minecraft a little bit because I felt like I wasn't close enough to being a 10-year-old, so I decided to get back into Minecraft a little bit. I'm having fun with that. I just completed my farmhouse. It's a nice relaxing game to play with a podcast or something like that in the background on.
Yeah.
Perhaps this one. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been playing some of that. I've been playing Battlefield 1 a little bit more again. Like I said, I played Rainbow Six Siege a little bit yesterday and the day before. I've been just trying to dive back into old games that are old, not as old as SOCOM, obviously, but old games that I stopped playing for a bit to see if I can catch the bug again on those.
Sure.
And trying to see what grabs me, I guess. But I'm set, I guess.
I'm back on the
next
soul
game-
crack.
Yeah, SOCOM is definitely eating up more of that gaming time, and I think the next gaming purchase I'm going to make is probably For Honor, if anything, but I don't know. And that's going to be a while off, so.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna be able to justify that game unless it's like $30 or $40.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same spot, but I still feel like I have a more optimistic viewpoint on it. As far as whether I'm going to enjoy it or not, I don't know if I don't want to make it out like you're shitting on it, but
No, I mean, if it's your type of game, it's your type of game. That's another
And
thing
that's
too.
the thing is like I kind of saw that it was gonna be MOBA-ish from like the videos and stuff, but I still went into the closed beta with an open mind, and yeah, I mean like like I said, the fight
out.
just rock paper scissors, MOBAs are MOBAs.
like it's a love 'em or hate 'em kind of thing, I think, and I don't very much like them, but I'm gonna give the other modes a shot.
It looks awesome, but I think for me, I still couldn't buy a game like that either. You have to be kind of into those types of games, and I think similarly to a Ghost Recon or anything else, if you want to stay tactical shooters, there's not much in the the space to even choose from. I mean, a lot of people are talking about what is it, Sniper 4?
Yeah, Sniper Elite 4.
Yeah, everybody's been getting crazy about that, and I played I think 3, and it was it was definitely good. The game was brutal. I mean, it's a sniping game, and I like to definitely see what they did with the multiplayer and stuff, where they do, there's a lot more mobility, but they're still doing kind of a,
I'm gonna sound like an ignorant
building to building kind of
because
stuff.
I've never played any of the Sniper Elite games, but the one bone to pick I have with them is that they got the DLC for like Sniper Elite 2 or 3 or whichever one it was, and it's like, oh, you get to kill Hitler. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
They've had that DLC
That's
for
fair
every
enough.
Sniper Elite.
That's what I mean. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, how about Rommel? How about like Himmler? Can we mix it up a little bit, please?
Yeah, and I saw I retweeted that too because at least they showed it was Hitler's crotch was the trophy.
What
So they at
about
least had a
like
sense of humor about it.
Eva or whatever? What about that? Where's that DLC?
So cool, guys. That's going to do it for episode 2 of the Spicy Sausage Podcast. If you guys are digging that shit, definitely subscribe to our channels. You can hit the subscribe button down below for me, and I'll have links in the description and in the end card for Mr.Blonde and Skimask. You can also find us at therealsocom.com, where we talk shit about SOCOM and other tactical shooters every day. So until then, this is Tawok, Skimask, and Mr.Blonde signing off.